In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Divi Builder image module, which allows you to add images to your posts or pages when using the Divi Builder. Here's an example of 3 image modules that have been placed in a 1/4 column. You can also enable lightbox mode so that when the image is clicked, the image is opened in a lightbox, as seen here. Of course, that's optional. You can also choose a load-in animation, so as you scroll down, the images might load in from a certain angle, which you can control, which creates a really cool effect as you explore down the page. And you use them with GIF images as well, which is pretty cool. And like I said, controlling that intro animation is nice when the images are in different positions. For example, that slide in from the left when the image is on the left looks really great. Okay, so let's jump into the builder and I'll show you how to use this module. Here's a basic page I'm working with, just a standard post with some columns of text, and I would like to add some images below this first block of text. So I'm going to edit the page, and I'm going to add a new row below that first row of text here. So I'm going to add a row. I'm just going to make it, let's do a 3-column row, and I'll bring it up here. And inside each of these columns, I'm going to add an image module. So first one up, I'm going to click the Insert Modules button. And then I'm going to look for the image module, which is right here. And once you click that, you're going to be presented with the Divi Builder image module settings. And as with all modules in the Divi Builder, the settings are broken up into 3 tabs: General Settings, Advanced Design Settings, and Custom CSS. As a general rule of thumb, everything you need to create great posts and pages with the Divi Builder can be found in the General Settings tab. But if you want even more control over the appearance of the module, you can venture into the Advanced Design Settings tab, which typically has a bunch more options that allows you to control and customize the appearance of the module. And if you happen to be CSS savvy, you can also jump into the Custom CSS tab and add CSS to the module and individual parts of the module. Now I have some great tutorials that go over each of these tabs, but in this tutorial I'm really going to focus on the general settings. So be sure to check out the Advanced Design Settings and Custom CSS tutorials back in the Divi Builder documentation page. So moving to the general settings, the first thing you're going to want to do for your image module is upload an image. So I'm going to click the upload image, and you can choose to upload a new image or just pick one from your library. So I'm just going to pick one from the library that I have already, and then click the set as image. And you get a little preview of the image you've added here. And moving on, you can also define the alt text for the image, which is good for SEO, screen readers, and that kind of stuff. It just basically informs bots and stuff what this image is about. So I might just type in colored pencils. And this is optional. Next up is the image title text, which will appear when you hover over the image. Again, also optional. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. You can also choose to have the image open in a lightbox when clicked, so I'm going to enable that. Next up is the animation, the load-in animation. So as you scroll down the page, the image is going to fade in from a direction of your choosing, either left to right, top to bottom, bottom to top, right to left, or just fade in without any position change, or you can disable the animation altogether. For now, I'm just going to keep it as fade, no position change. You can also choose to remove the space below the image, and what that does is it basically takes the image and makes it sit directly on the row or section below it. So it just kind of creates a nice effect and removes the space between the section below the image. And it's really only meant to be used when the image is at the very bottom of the section. So you can kind of create that effect that the image is maybe coming up from behind the section below it, which can be pretty cool. And so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to leave that off. Next up is the image alignment. You can choose left, right, or center. And that really only matters if the image is smaller than the column it's being placed in. And in this case, that isn't the case. And so no matter how my image is aligned, it won't matter because the image is going to assume the entire width of the column. But if you place a small image inside of a large column and you want that image to be aligned centered, you can choose that here. Next up is the admin label, CSS ID, and CSS classes, which we don't need to use in this tutorial. Now, at any time when you're configuring a module in Divi, if you want to get a preview of that module that you've created so far, you can click the preview link, and that'll render the module within the current section. And as you can see here, and you can get a nice preview of what you're working with. And you can also bounce between our responsive designs testing tabs as well to take a look at that module at different screen sizes. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to save and exit. And like I said, I want to add a module to each of these columns. So to speed things up, I'm just going to duplicate this twice and move it into each one. And I'm going to open up these settings and just switch out the image. So I'm going to click on the upload image link to change the image. I'm going to choose something fresh for each one. And like I said, you can get a preview at any time to see what you're working with. And there we have it. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to save and exit and update the page. And we can take a look at what we have so far on the front end. So viewing the page and scrolling down, you can see we've added a nice row of images here. When they're clicked, they're going to open in a lightbox. Yep, and that's a basic overview of the image gallery module. Now, as I said, there are also some advanced design settings tabs that you can, advanced design settings inside the advanced design settings tab that you can play with as well. So if you move into those, there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do. For example, add a border to the image if you wanted to. We could add a purple border to this image, increase the border width or decrease the border width, change the style. And so if you get a preview of that, here we've added a nice border to that image. So yeah, it's lots of fun stuff you can do inside the Advanced Design Settings tab, so be sure to check that out. And yep, that's a basic overview of the Divi Builder image module.